Meditation.
Meditation. That's the episode today.
Hey. Yes, so welcome.
Yeah, and what better than to talk about meditation with someone who is an expert in the field of meditation. Da da da.
Yeah, so what is meditation? Like, there's so much information, so much noise out there, and when people come to my studio, they're so confused. They actually feel overwhelmed. They actually feel like they've got anxiety about even the process because it just feels like they just don't know. But also to the thought of sitting still in silence with no distractions scares the hell out of them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know more from you, like in terms of the definitional aspects of meditation, or even from Buddhism philosophy as well, and then even mindfulness as a recent movement too, like how it kind of all fits in together, or what your perspective is of that, whether or not they're different labels for very similar techniques. I just know that just in terms of my studies of yoga and the philosophy from there, there's very, very different aspects and approaches to meditation depending on what school or philosophy that you follow.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a common theme, or there's a science that they need to be, things have to be coupled together. But what happens in the Western society, we just pull one aspect out of that. So yoga, okay, asana, you go to the strong vinyasa, the beautiful class at the yoga loft, but that's one element out of the whole 8, all right? So we'll use mindfulness. So mindfulness is one aspect out of the concept of meditation. So mindfulness, if we just focus on that, could be quite dangerous in the sense, if we're just mindful of all our thinking, all our thoughts, we're like, wow, my mind's busy. My mind's crazy. I have these random thoughts. I have positive thoughts. I have negative ones. And if we were just mindful with no other wisdom, so meditation, we need mindfulness, but we need concentration. We need discernment. So it's knowing that, the mindfulness is like the guard keeper. It's like, the mind's wandered, alert, mindfulness, come back. We use our discernment, our will to come back. And then we use our concentration to stay concentrated. And then the mind will wander again. Mindfulness kicks in, comes back. But if we're just mindful of everything, we'd feel overwhelmed and we probably wouldn't even get out of bed.
Yeah, that's a really good way that you've explained it, because with mindfulness, like I've always thought of it in the sense that, my mind is just going in different directions, and, I'm just aware of that because it's going into so many different landscapes, and that's, all I've thought about. But then adding the added element of what you're saying for concentration, and then single point of concentration, and then increasing the time period that you're in concentration as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And then it's letting go of the outcome too, because, some days, like for my meditation practice, and I've got a strong practice and been doing this for almost 10 years, right? And my life is like, I teach yoga. The most active thing would probably be teaching Pilates, but so I've got this very sattva lifestyle. And I'll come to sit down some days and my mind will be distracted. It will be busy. And that's the practice. You want to welcome that. It's like, wow, this is where we really get to see ourselves. It's like, oh, wow. And can I be okay with that? And it's really interesting. Lots of people ask me, like, what is meditation? And there's no rule. Like, meditation is a side effect, okay? We have meditative exercises. So no one can teach you meditation, but they can teach you meditative exercises. So breath work is only one of them, or in yoga we call it pranayama. And it's to slow the mind, become aware of the body so we can drop into a meditative state, meditation, right? So it's like when we do our workout at the gym, no one can give you that feeling of the workout. That's the meditation, right? So you go, you do your exercises, you work really hard, you get really sweaty, you take all your pre-workouts, and then you have this feeling afterwards. That's the meditation. And it's always changing. It's never the same. And so sometimes too, we don't actually like the workout, but we know how we're going to feel after. So that's what keeps us to doing the workout. Same with our meditation practice. We use our concentration, our discernment, our discipline, and we stick to the practice. We say we're sitting here for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and we watch the busyness of the mind. And if our mind's so busy, that's good. It's like a strong, hard workout, you know, because at the end of that, we're like, oh, wow, I stayed. I committed to myself, you know. So that's the beautiful gift of meditation.
Yeah, and there's Mel, like what I've seen as well that you've done, you know, in such a great way in the studio space too, is like you've taught different ways or styles of meditation. Like for example, a walking meditation. So a lot of people would think that, you know, for meditation that you need to carve out, you know, a particular area, you know, at home, you know, particular time that you're sitting still. But then there's these other ways that you can meditate too.
Yeah, there's so many meditative exercises, and the thing is, we want to meet people where they're at. So people go, oh, I haven't been, like, I don't know why I sit down and I can't meditate and I haven't been doing anything. If you're sitting at a screen all day, if you've got multiple screens up, you've got multiple tabs, sorry, your mind is really busy. The physical body might not be, but the mind is. Yeah.
The Raja's mind.
So there's no way in hell that I would suggest someone to sit down for half an hour and watch their breath. You know, I just would never do that. So a beautiful walking meditation. So you're designing this time, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, and then all your senses are doing something a little less interesting. All right, if we're rehashing over what we should have said, what we could have said, or fantasizing in the future of all the amazing things that may never happen, they're bringing up these really strong emotions, all right? And we're like, oh, and all these ideas are going, and the mind's like, yeah. So the whole idea is we focus on the breath or we focus on the body because it's a little bit boring. Yeah, and that's why lots of people don't want to do it, because it's not as exciting as like thinking about what we're doing on the weekend and all the beautiful food we're going to eat and the people we're going to catch up with. And you notice it gets a little bit boring, then you notice, oh, I'm a little bit sleepy, I'm a little bit tired, and then yeah, you can fall asleep. So what we do is we design it and we just focus on what the body's doing. But all day, the body's a slave to the mind, so we're not actively in that right side of the brain. So what we do is we switch that, and then we allow the mind to start to notice what the body's doing. So the body starts walking, say, the left, the right, and then so the body just naturally walks, and then the mind's noting what it's doing. Because as you'll know, how we move through our life, it's like, oh, I'm hungry, and the body just automatically goes to the fridge. We might actually not be hungry, right? You know, we have the thought, oh, I need to go to the toilet. We just get up. We don't think about it. We just go. So we're just trying to shift that. So the more we can spend time in that opposite state, we're going to be able to fall asleep. We're going to be able to slow down our thinking and switch our thinking into more positive instead of just always paying attention to the negative. So that's why we do what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, if I think about like just in terms of the studio space and the programs that we've had, the 40 days program in the studio is quite a popular one that we've had, you know, over the 10, 11 years or so. Yeah. And the main issue that people have when they come to the 40 days program is that they don't have a meditation practice. And, you know, as part of the program, they learn to establish a practice for, you know, first week is 5 minutes, morning and evening, then they build up to 10 minutes and they build up to 15, 20, all the way up to 30 minutes. Mel, how would you suggest, or what could someone do that wants to establish a meditation practice?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So it's showing up for ourselves. So I work with a lot of different people, especially people that are coaches and mentors, and they don't have a meditation practice. And it's not that you need that, but we need to honor ourselves. So whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever that time is, we carve that out. We schedule it in like we schedule everything else that's important for us. Because if we can't show up for ourselves at the beginning of the day, then we can't show up 100% for anyone else.
Yeah. So are you saying that to have the practice in the early in the day is important?
Yeah, like it's deciding where and how it's going to work, whether it's the morning or the evening, but we're already in that delta state. So we haven't had any confusion, any like triggers or anything, any other input from the day yet. So we're in this kind of pure state. So we can really tap in and really sit still. So that's if we really want to. Because by the afternoon, there's a lot happening, you know, and then it's more easier to just palm it off and do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the real spiritual time of day in the early morning. Yeah, I just know that from the yogis and, you know, the experiences, with practicing.
6. Yeah. And then I always just say is, so if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, Vipassana. So meeting yourself where you're at. How much time do I actually have? Okay, I've got 15 minutes. All right, well, let's just do 10. All right, so we know we've definitely got 10 minutes because we've got 15. And then we decide what we're going to do. We're just going to focus on our breath. So we'll notice the mind will wander. We'll notice the mind's really busy, but we just smile. Oh, how delightful. Come back to the breath. Or maybe we're just tuning into the sensation of the body and we're just getting the body. Or maybe we've got a candle and we're just staring at the wick of the candle, noticing that mind wanders and we just come back. And even if we can't even do that, we're just choosing to stay still in that chosen position, not moving, because all of a sudden we really want to do the washing that we always hate doing. You know, we want to go check our phone, but we're just honoring that. We're showing up. We're not buying into the story of the mind. First thing in the morning, we get that win, and then the rest of the day, you're just on this natural high because you're like, yeah, I'm not buying into all the other stories that you're going to show up with. So that would be my beginning thing. So it's even if you're not even meditating, you're not concentrating on anything, you might still be thinking, but you're still honoring yourself. You're still staying there because, and it will be hard potentially, or it might not be. But then the next time you come around, you're like, I know this is familiar. And so this is how we get to create a relationship with this meditation practice, just like we create relationships with everything else. So yeah.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose that's just, if you can get your head around that, maybe you might want to like revisit this episode, because there's so many layers. It's like an onion, just like yoga. There's so many layers of meditation and understanding and knowing what works for you. And even like each day it could change, and that's why it's knowing one or two, knowing them really well, and then knowing when you need them and when you don't need them is a beautiful thing. Yeah,
and I really liked what you said in terms of like you've got to show up for yourself. That's really important.
Yeah, because for me, before I found meditation too, like I was buying into this illusion. You know, I was happily or unhappily married. I don't know. Working 2 jobs. You know, 2 mortgages, like all the things. And I was really young. I was only like 24 or something, but I'm like, I'm giving 110% to everything. And I was fatigued. I was getting frustrated. It didn't take me much to make me angry. So I'm just buying into this illusion. And the more I share this story with like my clients, they're like, oh my gosh, that's me right now. Yeah. And it's like, we can shift, we can change this. Because like, if we can't show up for ourselves, we can't show up for our kids, our partner, nothing, you know? It's from this place of emptiness. And this is what yoga gives us. It gives us this space because we've got this window of tolerance and it needs to get unpacked. And yoga is the most easiest, simplest way. Meditation, Buddhism, like that gets you there, but it's a bit more trickier for me. This is my personal experience, maybe.
Well, yes.
Going to a class and being guided. Yeah,
it's very important. Well, the yoga, the way, or the asana approach is, you know, we go through the movement, the asana, and then we bring ourselves to the stillness to be able to sit with self and be in that meditative state.
Yeah, and we can just even go and just surrender to the teacher, and then you just feel amazing after a yoga class. And it's just like, you don't have to know the science, you don't have to know all like the Bhagavad Gita or anything.
No,
you're just like, don't. Oh wow, cool. Yeah,
and it'll be really, really great to be sharing about yoga itself on one of the upcoming episodes.
So it's Well, anyway, I hope we've given you a little taster of what meditation is, and maybe it's made a little bit clearer, because there is lots of shades of grey around the topic of meditation. I know I've heard a lot of random things.
Yeah.
But comment below if you want more clear understanding of something else. Maybe we talked on something, but you want a little deeper. But if not, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye. Hari Om Tat Se.